You're listening to The Standard Podcast, February 15th, 2018 edition. This week's headlines include: Motion for Township paid forensic audit of BIA fails to find support. Springtide Music Festival planned for Uxbridge. RH Cornish Kids for Kids Club making a difference. And in sports, MoJacks take 3-game stranglehold on first-round series. Motion for Township paid forensic audit of BIA fails to find support. Dan Kearns, Scugog. A motion made by Ward 3 Councillor Don Kett to have the Township of Scugog execute a forensic audit of the Port Perry BIA from the years 2012 to 2016, and to have the Township pay for the forensic audit, did not receive enough support from Council to pass when it was brought up at a meeting on Monday, February 12th. At the meeting, Councillor Kett's motion, which also stated the audit be completed by April 30th, 2018, was discussed during the notice of motion section. Councillor Kett told Council, "I've raised a concern about clarity and transparency of the BIA finances before, but it's necessary to look at it again." When asked by Mayor Tom Rowett what he was hoping to achieve with this forensic audit, Councillor Kett said he's looking for, quote, "the truth." He also said he wants the Township to be protected from any liability in this matter. "I want to make sure that we are indemnified from any liability," he said, adding that the audit should be done. Treasurer Diane Valentium said she reached out to the Township's auditor about the 2016 audit of the BIA, stating they provided a substantially significantly more intense audit. She went on to say a fraud risk was raised by the BIA board, and 150 hours were spent on the 2016 audit. She said, "If there was any instance of fraud, if they encountered any potential fraud during the course of their audit, they would have been required to communicate the findings to the BIA, and they did not find any instances of that." Council was concerned about the potential cost of an audit like this. The Township received a verbal opinion from an auditor that this type of audit could cost between $20,000 and $30,000 for each year audited. Ward 2 Councillor Jana Guido said, "I would find it very difficult to support a $100,000 cost. While I believe the truth and finding out whatever needs to be found out is very important, $100,000 is a huge burden to ask our residents to bear." Regional Councillor Bobby Drew agreed that the Township should not be spending $100,000 on an audit of the BIA. She said, "To me, to spend $100,000 on an audit when the auditors have already had a good look at it, that would be, in my opinion, irresponsible." Mayor Rowett said the BIA has the authority to pay for and move forward on an audit if they wish to do so. He said, "Nobody is stopping the BIA from pursuing it any further." When a vote was called on the motion, Councillor Kett did not see support from the other councillors, and the motion was lost. Springtide Music Festival planned for Uxbridge. Christopher Green, Uxbridge. Joanne Richter of Second Wedge Brewing Company and Tanya Joy Sr. want to start a new tradition in Uxbridge. At a council meeting on Monday, February 12th, Miss Richter and Miss Sr. made a presentation to council for a new music festival called Springtide. Springtide was inspired by the Wintersong Music Festival, where various musical acts were performed in the local shops and venues of Stouffville. The arrangement made for unique performances, as well as a creative way to get people into the local businesses. This turned out to be a successful way to increase interest in the local businesses. "We went into shops and restaurants we never knew existed and intend to visit again," read one testimonial from the Stouffville Festival, which was presented to Uxbridge Council. After further encouraging testimonials, Miss Senior, a musician herself, said, "We're really hoping the Uxbridge Township will be interested in partnering with us for this festival." Regional Councillor Jack Ballinger assured the presenters, "Any way that we can help, we would be glad to." Council quickly put their assistance into action through Ward 3 Councillor Dave Barton's motion to waive the fees for the use of the Uxbridge Music Hall for Springtide's opening concert. The motion was quickly carried. Councillor Barton said, "I love it. It's a perfect fit for our town. It just seems there's live music playing all the time. This is a perfect way to highlight it." Interest in the festival has already been expressed after BIA members were contacted. Blue Heron Books, Rutledge Jewelers, and Nexus Coffee are among those Miss Senior said expressed interest. Mayor Gary Lynn O'Connor also lauded the festival. "Sounds like a great idea. You hit the nail on the head when you said Uxbridge is full of talent. I can't think of a better place to start something like this. And certainly, working with our BIA is great." Springtide Music Festival is expected to take place during the third week of April. Do you have audio production needs? Greenstream Studio is here for you. But don't just take our word for it. Let's listen to these testimonials.
Chris is hardworking, trustworthy, and on top of that, he has a great ear for audio.
His audio editing and sound design skills are very high quality. He has always conducted himself with very much professionalism.
He would be an asset to any organization requiring these expertise and attention to detail.
For more information, visit greenstreamstudio.ca. RH Cornish Kids for Kids Club making a difference. Dan Kearns, Scugog. For the last 9 years, the Kids for Kids Club at RH Cornish Public School has been working to help the local community and beyond. The club is made up of grade 7 and grade 8 students who are looking to make a difference. Teacher Suzanne Garriock told The Standard, "We base our initiatives at 3 levels. We do 1 global, 1 national, and 1 local. One of the initiatives the club is doing is holding a warm sock drive to support the North Bay Indigenous Friendship Center. The school is collecting socks to be delivered to First Nations reserves in Northern Ontario. Some of the socks will be donated to Anderson Collegiate Vocational Institute." Student Katrina Treiselman said, "At that school, there's an ongoing project to help out the homeless people, so some of the socks that we raise will go to them, and they will donate them to homeless people in need. The club is looking for donations of socks from the local Scugog community. Donations of socks can be dropped off at the school at 494 Queen Street in Port Perry." Ms. Treiselman said, "We are encouraging everyone to bring in socks because we really have to spread awareness that this is a cause that needs attention. One of our goals in this group is to spread education and awareness. That's when people start taking action." Another initiative the club is working on is helping raise funds to support the building of a new hospital in Roatan, Honduras. Student Laura Meerweather told The Standard, "The conditions down there are pretty rough, and the medical center is not in the condition it should be." The club was also involved in the school's annual fall food drive. This year, the school raised 2 truckloads of food for Operation Scugog. Ms. Meerweather stressed that kids can make a difference in their community and beyond. She said, "Being kids, it's hard to bring awareness, because people don't tend to listen to us because they think we don't have a voice, and if we do have a voice, then our voice shouldn't be heard. Bringing awareness, even to the fact of what kids can do everywhere, it's astounding even what we've been able to do inside our community." Ms. Treiselman said the inspiration of the group was Craig and Mark Kielberg's Me to We movement. She said, "They were just kids when they started all of these great things that they are doing for the world." She also described her experience in the club as inspirational and fun. The school will be holding a Mini We Day event in June.
Technical foul.
North Durham Sports. MoJacks take 3-game stranglehold on first-round series. Dan Kearns, Scugog. The Port Perry MoJacks have taken a 3-0 stranglehold in their first-round series against the Georgina Ice. The MoJacks opened the series against the Ice at Scugog Arena on Wednesday, February 7th. 6 minutes in, the Ice scored the first goal of the game, giving them a 1-0 lead. But, with less than 3 minutes remaining in the first period, on a MoJack power play, Graham Lamer sniped a shot past the Ice's goaltender to tie the game 1-1. Almost 9 minutes into the second frame, Luke Wyatt scored, giving Port Perry a 2-1 lead. Shortly after, Mitch Gustafson scored, giving Port Perry a 2-goal cushion. With less than 3 minutes to go in the period, Jeff Gauld found a loose puck and put it in the back of the net, extending Port Perry's lead to 4-1. Less than a minute into the third frame, the Ice scored, cutting Port Perry's lead to 4-2. But Port Perry answered. Over 5 minutes in, Jordan McCullough received a great pass from Owen Hurtubise and scored. Lammers and Gustafson each later scored their second goal of the game to give the MoJacks a 7-2 win. The MoJacks continued to roll during Game 2 of the series in Georgina on Friday, February 9th, winning the game 10-3. Austin Mackey had a hat trick, and Gustafson scored 2 goals in the MoJacks Game 2 victory. Other MoJacks goal scorers in the game were Brady Martin, Liam Schweda, Lammers, Gauld, and Cody Fruner. The MoJacks offense remained potent when the series returned to Scugog Arena for Game 3 on Sunday, February 11th. Less than 2.5 minutes in, Lammers scored the first goal of the game, giving Port Perry a 1-0 lead. Then, almost 7 minutes in, on a MoJack power play, Mackey's first shot was stopped, but the puck came back to him and he scored. About halfway through the period, Lammers finished off a beautiful passing play between Gauld and Schweda, scoring his second goal of the game. The MoJacks had a 3-0 lead after 20 minutes of play. Over 2 minutes into the second period, Lammers scored his hat-trick goal. Then, over halfway through the period, Lammers lit the lamp again, and Port Perry had a 5-0 lead. With less than 6.5 minutes remaining in the second frame, Brady Martin scored, and the MoJacks had a 6-0 lead after 40 minutes of play. Just over 3 minutes into the third, the MoJacks' Matt Doucette and Georgina's Spencer Waters got into a fight in front of the MoJacks' net. 37 seconds later, Lammers scored his 5th goal of the game on a Port Perry power play. Then, over 8 minutes in, Gustafsson lit the lamp. The MoJacks would strike 4 more times in the period with goals from Martin, Hurtubise, Mackey, and Josh Dixon, and won the game 12-0. Sean Mabley made 21 saves for the shutout. MoJacks assistant coach Patrick Job said after the game, "Mabley was good, and he made saves when he needed to make saves. We need him to continue to play like that as we continue to go on here." MoJacks head coach Tom Boyle told the Standard that the difference in the series has been discipline. He said, "Our boys have been disciplined, and the ice haven't. They've been taking penalties, and we've been scoring goals on the power play." The MoJacks played Game 4 of the series in Georgina on Tuesday, February 13th, past the Standard's press deadline. For more local news, visit www.thestandardnewspaper.ca. The Standard podcast was produced by Greenstream Studio. Visit www.greenstreamstudio.ca for all your multimedia production needs.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird!
It's a plane.
No, it's the Standard!
It's what?
It's the Standard newspaper serving Durham Region and the city of Kawartha Lakes. For all your local stories and much more, pick up the Standard today. Call 905-985-6985 or visit www.thestandardnewspaper.ca. Read it today.